What's up guys, Eric here. I am back with another review, and this time I'm feeling a little nostalgic. And with the 30th anniversary of Ghostbusters this year, which is my all-time favorite movie, I decided to go back in time and review the real Ghostbusters Firehouse headquarters. This comes with all the pieces except for the ectoplasm, and it comes with this box. And the box is one of my favorite things. I used to love the box art for the Ghostbusters toys. So I wanted to take a look at this real quick. You see the front of it, it's got the cool logo there. Firehouse headquarters. It's got an image of the firehouse itself, along with a kid having a great time playing with it. And you can see, if we zoom in a little closer, you can see it has the ectoplasm. You can see the Ecto-1 going to the doors there. Egon's over there with the containment unit, which unfortunately there was no space inside the firehouse itself for the containment unit. You can see Peter going down the pole there. You can see Ray getting caught up in the slime grate. Has a bunch of exciting features: Ghost Containment Unit / Trap, Ghost Pursuit Fire Pole, and Goop Grates. So here's the side of the box. Again, it has that logo, and if you zoom in a little bit, it shows you how to use the trap. Really cool. It shows you how to use the Goop Grate, and it shows you how to work the slide, as well as open the doors, and there's another image of all the pieces together. The back of the box is showing the same thing, only it's all basically black and white. It shows you all the features. It's got the Goop Grates there, the Ghost Pursuit Fire Pole, Containment Unit, Ectoplasm, the Ghost Trap, and the opening doors. The other side of the box, it shows basically the same thing, just an image of the firehouse itself. Alright, so one of the cool things that came with this firehouse was the fact that it came with the directions, which I really thought was cool. And the directions are in pretty good condition. You know, it's a little dusty. It's got some pieces on there, but it's in pretty good condition. And I just love, you open it up, it shows you detailed instructions on how to put the firehouse itself together. See here, it has label placement, has assembly. Assembly continues on into the next page here, and on to the next page. And it's cool actually seeing the firehouse like this, because this has been around for almost 30 years, so I haven't seen it in pieces before. Because this, even when I bought this, it came assembled. Back here it shows the remaining, when it's fully assembled. And on the back it shows once again how to use the trap. Alright, so enough about the box. Let's get into the actual Ghostbuster Firehouse playset itself. Alright guys, so here it is, the official Ghostbusters Firehouse playset. Now as you can see, it's a pretty big thing, so it's really hard to get the whole thing on camera. So I'm going to have to pan up and down for this. You can see some pretty cool detail which is involved in this. Pan all the way down. You got the Firehouse sign right here that just easily comes unattached from the side there. You can pop it in. It's really cool. This is actually the original from my original Firehouse itself, so I have two of these now. I just decided to use the original one here. It goes on the side here. If you look further, you can see the doors, opening and closing doors. The only bad thing about these doors is obviously they're rounded, and in the Firehouse, in the cartoon and everything, it's rounded, but when you open it, it's squared off right here. Now the reason that is because the second level starts at about that spot there, so it needs a place to go. This squared off spot actually kind of hinders the Ecto-1 a little bit if you have all of the pieces, and we'll get into that a little bit later. As you can see right here, this is the containment unit, or ghost trap. We'll zoom in a little bit on that. So here is the containment unit / ghost trap. This part right here is the ghost trap itself. The ghosts will go in here, and then once you put it on here, open it up, slide it across, and the ghost is supposed to fall into here. And I thought that was a really cool concept. And if you look at the containment unit itself, the color was very bright red, orangish, so it's really hard to come off on this camera. But it actually does have pretty decent sculpt in there. Someone decided to use black Sharpie to kind of enhance that, but I think a lot of people did that because I'm pretty sure I did that on my own as well. There's no place to fit this inside the firehouse, especially if you have the Ecto-1 in there. Alright, now starting off on the side, you can see some nice detail here. There's a nice texture on the wall, you can see the windows, and these decals are what you have to put on yourself, representing the bricks. You can see the cracks on the side of the building. Again, more detail and more cracks down here at the bottom. Alright, now let's take a look at some of the details on the inside of the firehouse. Let's zoom in here. As you can see, this is the top floor. There's a painting in the background of an old woman, which mine, unfortunately, that picture was ripped. But there's really not much detail on the walls. There's not much detail on the floor. You see the peg holes there. Ray is standing in one right now, and that's for the goop grate. Second floor here, you can see Peter in there. You see the bookcase in the background. That's another decal you put on. Come over to the side here. There's another bookcase there behind Louis Tully. So if you look down at the bottom here, this is where you'll see most of the detail, especially when it comes to the decals. You see right here, there's a bunch of different mechanical objects. Don't really know what these things are. There's like a computer system here, maybe a generator kind of system. This just looks like a vacuum or something. I don't know. But then you can see some sculpted detail actually on the bottom, including like a grate there, sewer grate, and some other things here. It also has these grooves right here, which is for the Ecto-1 to sit in and not roll in and out of the firehouse. If you want to get the Ecto-1 in here, it does fit in here, but the only difference is if you had that seat that goes on the top of the Ecto-1, which I do not have, it wouldn't be able to go in. You'd have to take the seat off because of the square portion of the entrance to the firehouse. As you can see, it kind of just rolls back in here, and it fits right there. And it's on these grooves, so if you try to move it, it kind of just stays there. And it looks really cool in here. It does. But the only problem is, once the firehouse is in here, it completely takes away from the play area of the firehouse itself. If you bring it around to the front, you can see it looks really great with the Ecto-1 sticking out of the front of the firehouse there. Now to get into basically the only real play feature of this house is the pole here, which you need to have two figures on, and this red piece here comes with peg holes. If you try to do it with one figure alone, it won't spin. But you can also see, which might happen right now, is with two figures it spins too fast that the figure will actually fall off. There's a switch up here on the top of the roof, and if you hit that, figures go spinning down the pole. Now you can actually see the top of the playset here. There's the switch right there. And you can actually see some detail. There's like a little wooden path going along, the grate there. The grate itself is where you're supposed to put the ectoplasm. There's poles there, so there's some pretty decent sculpted detail here up on top of the roof. And it's another spot in which you can play with your action figures. The best thing I like about this firehouse is the size of it. It actually is in scale with certain figures, such as the Marvel Universe line, which is 3 3/4 inch, which a lot of people who do ACBA displays, which is articulated comic book art, use this firehouse in their displays. I've done it in the past. And it really works really well as a background piece to other items you can use. It could be a building in the background of a fight scene or something like that. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I actually really enjoyed making this video. I really enjoyed this playset. And these actually aren't very easy to find anymore, especially complete with boxes and everything. They can be pretty pricey. So if you're looking for something like this, if you're looking for it to collect, I'd say just try to get it as best you can. If you're looking for something for parts or for ACBA displays, you could probably find broken ones or incomplete ones on eBay for a decent price. So I definitely recommend picking this up. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you guys next time.